Hi everyone and welcome to another recipe video, and this week I'm making one of my favourite Malaysian desserts, bubur cha-cha. Now bubur means porridge and cha-cha means plentiful or abundant, so we're talking about a plentiful porridge, and boy is there a lot going on in mine. The main components of a good bubur cha-cha are sweet potatoes, yam, or in this case I've used taro, tapioca jellies or pearls, and a warm, sweet, preferably pandan leaf scented coconut milk soup. You can use ordinary tapioca flour to make the tapioca jellies. I actually use tapioca pearls, which you'll see in a minute, for an even more chewy texture. Right, let's get started. First, we're going to prepare the potatoes. As you can see, I have one white one and one purple one. I actually not so secretly, wanted an orange one, but I picked up the wrong potato, but never mind, they're all sweet potatoes here. And I'm just going to cheat right now with a snap. And like magic, they are all chopped. I wish we could do that in real life, to be honest. Also chop the taro over there. Now I'm going to steam it for an hour and a half until they're nice and soft. If you can steam them just in one layer, it takes a lot longer to steam until cooked if you're piling them up like I am, but I was lazy. Next we're going to make the tapioca jellies. So here I've got 50 grams of tapioca seed pearls, those are the mini ones, and 50 milliliters of boiling water, and I'm just going to stir this up until it's nice and sticky. The starch will start coming out of the balls, as you can see here, to make them stick. Now I'm going to divide them into two bowls, and in one I'm going to colour and flavour green with pandan paste, and the other I'm going to colour pink. Usually I use rose syrup to do this, so there's another flavour, but I didn't have any today, so I just used ordinary pink, but I did have my pandan paste with me. Pandan, also known as screw pine, is a kind of leaf that's used widely in Southeast Asia, almost like vanilla to be honest. It's used really commonly and has a really fragrant sweet smell. And I am going to use some fresh ones later to flavour the coconut milk, which you'll see later. Unfortunately, my camera screwed up and it didn't film when I was actually adding the leaves, but you will see them. As usual, you can find this full recipe on my website tashgeeks.com, but just so you know, I've actually halved the quantities for the tapioca jellies and for the purple sweet potato sticky rice cakes, which I'm going to make later, because I just wanted a smaller portion. So it's all doubled on my website except for the coconut milk. So feel free to double or halve it as you wish, depending on how much you want. As you're seeing now, it's the half portion. On my blog post, I'm cooking it for 4 people, which I do mention on there, but here I'm just making it for 2. This is quite a flexible recipe in terms of the tapioca jellies, by the way. If you add too much corn flour, you can loosen it up with a little bit of water. Too much water, add a bit more corn flour again. And what we're doing is we're essentially turning them into a kind of lumpy dough. It's so much fun to work with, you'll see in a minute when I roll them out. And as you can see here, it's coming together just like Play-Doh. Now's the fun part, you just need to knead it until it's like a dough, and then you're going to roll it out like a sausage, and do the same for the pink one too. And in case you're wondering, yes, I am indeed a little bit Asian. My mum is Chinese Malay, born in Malaysia. My dad was born here. There's a bit of a debate whether his family is mixed Russian Polish or just Polish, so we're not really sure. All I know is I love my noodles and I can handle my vodka. So now we've got both our tapioca sausages, it's time for the most satisfying part, it's chopping them. Sorry boys. We're going to chop them up into little bits. And then what I like to do is I like to flatten them and shape them into kind of little disc type things. You don't have to do this part, but I find it helps them cook quicker because they're a bit thinner and they're a bit more aesthetically pleasing. Please excuse me while for a few minutes I fail to realise that it's all out of shot. There we go, now we can see what's going on. And don't feel restricted by pink and green. Do whatever colours you like. You can do more than 2. It can be blue, purple, whatever you like. Oh, I should make a rainbow bubur cha-cha. That would be amazing. Right, and now we're all done with the tapioca jellies. Next, we're going to make the purple sweet potato sticky rice balls. So I've taken some of that purple sweet potato I've steamed and mashed it, adding some glutinous rice flour. And then I'm going to make a dough with this too by adding a little bit of water. There's just something so satisfying about making these sticky jellies and sticky rice ball dumplings. The dough is really nice to play with. And these sticky rice balls are my favourite because the purple sweet potato makes them so melt in the mouth. Just like the tapioca jellies, this recipe is a bit forgiving. Too much corn flour, add more water, too much water, add more corn flour. But remember to do it bit by bit, you don't want to go overboard for either. Now I'm just going to split it into 16 portions and roll each portion into a little ball. Now you can admire your work, but not for too long because now we've got to cook them. Simply dump them in a pan of boiling water and boil them for about 30 minutes. They'll start to float, but keep going a little longer until those tapioca jellies are almost completely translucent. Don't worry though, they'll still have a few white specks in them, but that's normal. Then you're just going to drain them and place them in a bowl of fresh warm water so they don't go dry. Don't put it in cold water either because they'll go hard, put them in warm water. Right, now we're going to make that sweet coconut soup. As I mentioned earlier, unfortunately I had camera problems so you couldn't see me add the coconut milk, water, sugar, salt and pandan leaves into the pan, but this is it all together. And that green thing is the knotted up pandan leaves which I've shredded a little bit to get the most flavour. So just boil them for a bit until they're nice and fragrant. And then literally all you have to do is assemble everything. As many jellies as you like, and plenty of sweet potatoes and taro. And once you're happy with your jelly mountain, slather on that coconut milk. Thanks for watching and or listening. I hope you enjoyed today's video and found something in it useful, and I hope you'll join me next Wednesday for my next one. Remember, find the full written down recipe on tashcakes.com and find me on Instagram as tashcakestastes. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. Comment down below if you'd like me to talk about anything in particular, and I'll see you guys later. Stay safe, be nice, and have a good week.